Hey, there's a lot to say, and there are times during this chat that there might even be some incoherence. So, forgive me ahead of time. Um, but here's what's going on. We talk and talk and talk and talk, and nothing changes, or at least not fast enough. Um, there are a lot of people with a lot of money, and when I say people, I'm talking about black people in this frame. Okay, a lot of black people with a lot of money, and you can talk all you want. You can make documentary. You can be all fired up and show anger and disdain for what's happening. But it's time to stop talking and start doing. All right. So what am I talking about? Our black communities need help, financial help. Our black communities need to have an economy that is self sustaining. Our black communities need to have something that will allow our youths to go from elementary school to high school to tertiary level education or vocation of some sort. And all this need to be happening inside the black community. So the celebrities, those with a lot of money that you've earned, whether it's through businesses that you have, or athletic accomplishments, um, performing arts, whatever it might be, put it to work. You cannot take the money with you when you go to heaven. I'm assuming you're going to heaven. You can't take the money with you. However, you can put it to work, and that is going to build generational, generational, generational wealth within the black community. Not only the black community, of course, is going to build generational wealth within your own family, but you got to put it to work. Where are the black owned gas stations? We have to have gas. Where are the black owned car dealerships? Where are the black owned grocery stores? And I'm not talking about the convenience stores, those are okay. But we are talking about grocery stores. We want to be able to walk into these black owned grocery stores and get all the things we need. Okay? Where are all the black owned fitness centers? Where are all the black owned clothing stores? Where are all the black owned places that we can go obtain all the basic needs and obtain some luxury items as well? We can make that happen. Unless you put your money to work in the black communities, it won't happen. So my proposal my proposal is this: we need to set up in these black communities um, community centers, so that our black boys and girls can have a place to go, an outlet. And these outlet will consist of a fitness center, basketball gym, football space, baseball space, putting green, um, chipping green. Um, these places, this it's got to be all inclusive, right? But in addition to that, we need to have lunch available for these youths. We need to have meals available from time to time for these youths. We need to have counseling available. We need to have big brother, big sister engaged in these community centers. We need to have the ability for when these kids are there, for them to learn about racism, to learn about family matters, to learn about financial management. We need them to learn about marriage. We need them to learn about unplanned pregnancies. We need them to learn birth control, but more importantly, probably they need to learn more so about abstinence. Get involved with pastors, and I'm not just talking about black pastors. Get involved with allies. There are a lot of allies that are willing to come alongside us. We've got to jump in. We got to jump in. We got to make this happen. Okay, so we talk a lot. We talk a lot, and we're not saying much because we're not doing anything. We're not putting our money where our mouth is. I have a great friend, white lady, and she called me up one morning and one afternoon, and she said, "Peter, I need you." And I'm thinking to myself, okay, what's going on, right? So of course, naturally, yeah, I'm here. She said, "Peter, help me to understand white privilege. I don't get it. I was born white. I have all my black friends. I love, what does it mean, white privilege?" I laid a few things out for her, and she said, "Thank you." Okay, she's seeking to understand. What's happening is we've got a lot of white people out there that want to come alongside us and make things happen in our communities. The Black Lives Matter movements are all over the country. Okay, the Black Lives Matter movement is not about trying to put down any other nation, demographic, you name it. This is all about promoting the relevance of black people's lives. Okay, not in any means saying that white lives don't matter or the Indian or any other lives don't matter. What we're saying is that at this point, the black life is what is at risk. You've seen it on the TV. You've seen it on the news. Yeah, you may say, okay, this black guy, if he didn't do that, the cop wouldn't do that. There is never a point to shoot someone in the back. If someone is being shot in the back, that means that person is not a threat to you. Okay, and so when you see these things happen, but yet you see a white man take a baton from a cop and slap him a couple of times with it, and then gets in the cop's vehicle and drive off with it, and none of those cops pulled a gun, or even a taser for that matter, you've got to think twice. Would that happen to somebody who looks like me? No, wouldn't, would not. So the reality is that this is what Black Lives Movement is about. The other thing is defunding the police. We're not saying not to have police at all. We're saying that instead of giving the money that's given to police to go and police areas, make that fund make that go towards a community center, like I mentioned earlier. Okay, defunding the police means take some of those funds that are being used just to drive around vehicles and looking for people to arrest in predominantly black neighborhoods, lower income neighborhoods. That is money that should be being used to help these people that don't have the money to send their kids to school, etc. These are money that should be able to be used to build up, to expand. Okay, so that's what defunding the police mean in a nutshell. Okay, it's not saying get rid of the police. We need to think. We need to listen. We need to hear. We need to understand. We need to try. We gotta seek to understand. That's what I'm asking our white brothers and sisters. Seek to understand. Don't be judgmental. Okay, back to my point of black people. We've got to put our money where our mouth is. Okay, we got to start building in the black communities. Okay, there are a number of black banks around, to be honest. Didn't realize it. So now we've got to these black banks have to start going into these communities and investing in these communities. Set up all those infrastructures that are needed. Building in these black communities. And what really needs to happen is if we set up in black communities manufacturing businesses. Okay, we set up stores that can employ people there. We set up everything we need in these predominantly black communities. What's going to happen is I'm working in the black community. And let's not forget, put some hotels in these black communities. Okay, so hotels employ a lot of people. Hotels one of the biggest employers in the country. So if we're employed in the black community, so we're earning our money there, and there are places for me to buy my food, to get my gas, to get my clothes. There are places to go to the gym. Guess what? That money that I earned in that community stays in that community and should be able to stay there for a year at a minimum, right? So it is important that we start thinking in that vein. We can start thinking in that vein, okay? Um, I'll be talking some more, but I want us to stop talking. I want I want to be able to invest in the black community. Okay, um, but for us to be able to invest ourselves, we're not people with money at this point. We would like to have investors come alongside us, trust us, to be able to make this happen. There are a lot of people, lot of black people with money, and you're not necessarily entrepreneurs, but there are others like myself out there that are entrepreneurs and need the help. Come alongside us, and let's see how we can move the needle in the right direction again to keep um, to be able to sustain the economics in the black community. So this is my challenge, and I hope this video gets out to people that have the money that can invest, because you've got to invest the money. It's not about earning it and then spending it buying the best clothes you can and living in the fanciest house you can. That's cool. Enjoy your fancy house. That's great. I mean, I'm a proponent of a fancy house. But you're being looked up to. You're being idolized by people that thought, oh my gosh, man, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, you guys are just Serena Williams, amazing people. People look up to you. Let's invest. I love what Akon is doing back in Africa. Okay, and I'd like to see more people do that here in the U.S. More for black brothers and sisters do that here in the U.S. And hey, I'm putting my hand up saying, you want someone who's an entrepreneur at heart? I've started a number of businesses, but do you have somebody who's an entrepreneur at heart who wants to do some business within predominantly black communities? I put my hand up. I'm here. I'd like to be able to come alongside you guys who have the funds and can invest. And let's make our black young brothers and sisters, young or teenagers or children who are or just now toddlers. Let them grow up into a community where they see other black people being successful, whether it's owner of a convenience store or owner of a department store, or even it could be police officers, teachers, you name it. We want to see all that happening within the black community. And so I call upon all those of you people that have the money, that can spend, that can invest. Let's do this.